Well, we're gonna take a look back into 10 crimes that shocked Trinidad back in 2020. Now, why am I doing this? I am doing this to point out how dangerous Trinidad is, and that's the bottom line. It doesn't make sense I sugarcoat this country and these crimes.
We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty.
Greatness we say.
The whole world in a crisis. Man a move like Taliban and a ISIS. At the end of the day, at the night and the dark, Jamaica bring back the niceness. It's a fi all of me dogs in the streets. I do road this a lunchtime. I go so hard on the lane and the main thing the pain and it's tough time. All who day I won't ghost on the tear and the other face tough time.
That's all they know.
Just hold up your head and nothing for your giant, them your rough time.
Simple thing to a giant.
Life is a delicate subject and a predicate. Badness does elevate, fuck a lot of delegate. Mama say never the fret, youths now we say intellect. Mistake which I correct, live life with no regret. The long term of success will feature. Life prison don't give me the visa. With jailhouse man a star and clean.
On January 6, 2020, Giselle Phillips, a preschool, basic school principal, her partner, which is her man, came to the school and stabbed this young lady and killed her. This was a very, very, very sad thing in Trinidad, and at the time when this happened, it shocked the whole nation. On the same day, the school principal got killed, which was January 6th. This young man right here and this young lady, Polly-Ann, and her uncle and her brother, that's her brother beside her, they were strangled and killed, and jewelry and cash was gone. Now, with this case, there's two things. Her brother that you see in this picture, he is a Canadian citizen, and he had came home to visit his sister and his uncle and his family, and somebody who they know went to the house and strangled them. Can you imagine dying of strangulation? And the 3 people in the house the man killed. Yo, this is the picture of the man who killed them, yo. This is the guy who killed Polly-Ann and her brother from Canada. Her brother was living in Canada, came back to visit. The number 2 murder for 2020 in Trinidad. This guy right here, he's a real piece of shit. He knew the people then because he was like 2 yards down, and he knows that her brother came from abroad, and he went there and he spent the time. Can you imagine strangling 3 people? That's what he did. Mr. Nathan Phillips. He was arrested and he's still in jail, and I'm digging up some research on him, but I can't find anything. Now, I'ma say it like this, and I don't care if anybody want to get vexed. I'm sending a SOS out to the man them in prison. If you see Mr. Nathan Phillips, he's a woman killer and he's a hater. So if you guys want a woman killer on your block in prison, so let it be. Cause if I was doing time. No woman killer could be on my block. Them have to crack and go PC. So if you guys want to have a woman killer on your block, Mr. Nathan Phillips, you guys are a bunch of PUSSY. Let's go to number 3. So in April 2020, the man them kill this police officer. He's a special reserve police officer. His name is Julian Emmanuel. He was shot and killed themselves following an altercation with a residence over in Edinburgh. Now, the shooter managed to get his gun and escape with his firearm. But they said later on the shooter was caught. This one kinda shake Trinidad and people were talking about it. Retired Officer Kenneth Macan and his wife were slaughtered and stuffed in a barrel to blow out. Can you imagine? And this was in May of 2020. Now this particular crime was gruesome. Can you imagine? I want the subscribers and the viewers closing an eye and just imagine somebody have a knife stabbing these two people over and over. Can you imagine the anger and the violence and the evil and the hatred to use a knife to do such a crime? That is straight evil. I mean, I am closing my eyes right now and I am just looking at like, yeah, I'm stabbing somebody. Bop, 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 bop. Yo, you have to be totally convoluted and disoriented and evil to do something like that. Now, this is the man who did this crime. Look at him. 24-year-old pussy. That's the killer right there. This pum pum got arrested for it. And, you know, he knows the couple. Because if he didn't know this couple, they let him in the house, he'd probably be doing little yard work for them. And little stuff. Maybe errand boy and thing. And what he did, he killed this couple. Now, another SOS. If I was in prison and somebody like this came on my block, he would have gotten it. So, the man them in a Trinidad, who say a killer and this and that, how come you have so much woman killer hanging and doing time with y'all? How come none of these women killer always get out of jail? Them always get out, these women killer. How come you have this man kill this old lady? If I was in prison and he was on my block, he would have surely got it. That's all I'm saying to the man them in Trinidad. Let's move on. This one here, number 5. It's a very sad one. Mr. Stephen McLeod. Them kill him and him young daughter, Ayana. Very, very sad. Why? You see, Trinidad, the man them don't have no heart. Now, Tommy Lee did a song called Uncle D-Man. And I think Uncle D-Man should be the theme song for Trinidad. Some really cool MF down there. Now, this was 2020. And do you guys remember what happened in 2020. No, it's 2023 now. But you had a big major event, killing, that happened in 2020. And that kind of changed certain things in certain realm. Yo, I'm going to talk about this. This is number 6. The Great Rebel 6. On July 5th, the nation gets shocked when somebody or some men come into his living room while his girl was there. I did a video on that. And the girl's son was there. And they came in and gave it to him right there on his chair couch. He was playing a video game. And him get like 12 to 24 shots. And until this day, his murder is not solved. There's all sort of conspiracy. Some people say the girl, some people say Swanee, some people say other people did it. But up to today, this murder has not been solved. And that should tell you something about Trinidad and Tobago. Another thing, now their biggest artist in the reggae genre, in Trinidad reggae genre, is Prince Swanee. And Prince Swanee had to file for refugee status, you know. Now, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. Because refugee status is for countries that are in war. Okay? Like Israel and Gaza, Ukraine and Russia. You understand what I'm saying? Syria and whoever. Now, Trinidad is not in a war. But there's an internal war going on with the people them. Because they're killing off each other's like dogs. You understand? Like dogs. There is no respect for human life, especially in Trinidad. And I'm going to say Jamaica too. Jamaica, Trinidad. But I am doing the top 10 on Trinidad. There is no respect for human life in Trinidad. And it's such a sad thing. You understand? This is number 7. And it's this young lady, Joanna Diaz. She's from Venezuela. And she was strangled and thrown in a cesspool pit. You know, like a pit toilet. And she was also pregnant. Now, to be fair to Trinidad, the guy who did this is a Cuban national, and he was caught and charged. But one thing I noticed, because we had a discussion about women killers, and I am not gonna bring this. I'm not trying to do a debate, but we were speaking about other islands, and I said a lot of women get murdered in Trinidad, and somebody said that no, that's not true. More women get murdered in Jamaica. Well, let's look at some of this. Let's move to number 8. This one here is November 2020. Number 8. Business owner Miss Khan and her daughter and another person was shot and killed in their car while they were sitting in Mrs. Khan's car. And to this date, you hear what I'm saying? Listen carefully. Until today, nobody has been charged for this. You understand? Obviously, it's coming from somebody close. And this was a targeted hit. But, like I said, them say women don't die in Trinidad. They only die in Jamaica. Now, I'm gonna show that, you see, Trinidad and Jamaica, two similar countries. And what happened to this young girl right here? It was something similar in Jamaica that drove me to start my vlog. The young lady by the name of Candice was taken and killed by a neighbor who drives taxi, who be taking her to work. And it's the same thing happened to this young lady right here. In December 2020, she caught a cab in San Fernando, and the taxi driver, pardon my language, raped this young lady and killed her. That's what the taxi driver did. Just like what that dirty boy did to Candice. Now, once again, I'm gonna scream it out. How can the man them in Trinidad let the women killer them do time with them? No woman killer can do time with me. If you kill women and kids and old people, you have to go on a different block or a different range. And we might send a kite over the air and get rid of you. Or you have to crack and go PC. And let me tell you what happened to the man them when them got to protective custody. You see the rest of prisoner them who run the kitchen, because if anybody, let me explain to y'all how prison is. You see, prison is run by inmates. A prison is not run by guards, you know. All the guards them do is turn key. But when it comes to the running the operation of the prison, it's inmates. And then you have overseer. Like for example, in the kitchen, inmates cook, share and do everything. You have a guy who works with the prison who oversees the inmates, and he's the head chef or head cook from the outside. But beyond that, it's inmates run prisons. So you see, when you crack and you go to protective custody, you best believe guys are spitting in your food. I'm just letting you guys know how prison is. You best believe people do all sort of stuff with your food when you're in protective custody, especially for some heinous crime. Last but not least, number 10. This is a mother, Reshma, and she was chopped to death by an abusive ex-lover. This man, him catch the lady at work and slit her throat. I don't even want to say the word out. This is crazy. And this goes to show how 2020, some of the crime them from back then shocked the whole place. But now, as we move forward in 2023, Cause it's 3 years, you know. It's been 3 years, and what came into mind was like, wow, it's been 3 years since Rebel 6 died. And guess what? You know how much other people died, artists, and how much more crime and actually more killings that shock the country even greater. So it's like from 2020 you can see the escalation of the violence and the murder and the killing, and that's what Trinidad is all about. You don't like me, I am coming to kill you. And that's pretty much. There is no, yo, let's reason this, let's talk about it, let's negotiate. It's straight killing. And I know people are saying, well, Countryman is getting too emotional and caught up in the presentation of the top 10 shocking thing in Trinidad in 2020, murder. But this is just my style. Certain things, it bothers me. And when it bothers me, I am gonna give my honest opinion. Just like the women killer them who's in jail, I'ma feel like the man them in jail should get rid of them. And that's just the way I feel. You know, so that's just Countryman. Well, I hope I break it down from 1 to 10 and all this happening 2020, but I wanted to touch back on it to see the climate of how the crime was getting and gearing up, because it's been like that forever, but it just seems like it got worse. And can you imagine, we do the top 10 for 2023 most shocking killing in Trinidad, and I think I'm going to do it. Listen, my name is Countryman. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on another video. And Mr. Shotty Mark, I'm coming for you.